Relish it, the big, powerful Oldham prop. It's certainly a day for a lot of work from the forwards. Warrington's Greg Mackey leading out the side in blue and yellow stripes. Yestin Harris. And Greg Mackey will certainly be wanting to make good use of people like Mark Forster there on the wings. There are one or two dry patches down the outside. There is some grass, and certainly this Warrington back division can certainly make use of it. Warrington coach Brian Johnson has restored Kelly Shelford to his old position. He's moved him from loose forward back to stand off, and I think that should help sharpen up the attack. And if he can launch that back row in former standoff Dave Elliott and ex-centre Paul Derbyshire, there's plenty of pace to trouble Oldham. Injuries have forced Oldham coach Andy Goodway to delay selection until this morning, and one of his problems is that Steve Gartland comes in the centre for the injured Darren Abram. Abram not recovered from a dead leg injury, but Gartland a very, very experienced player. And the three powerful Kiwis in that pack, Jason Timu, Joe Faimalo and Mike Kuiti, have been in fine form, and they'll take some holding. Referee John Holsworth just trying to find a dry spot, really, and Greg Mackey making his 98th consecutive appearance for Warrington, a club record, and Mike Kuiti, the former Kiwi Test loose forward skipper of Oldham. Really is very difficult conditions underfoot, and we've seen a lot of this man, John Holsworth, on our sets this past couple of weeks. He took charge of those two Wigan St Helens Epics, and the Silk Cup Challenge Cup 5th round underway. Warrington v Oldham. And certainly, Steve, you were here with the Halifax team last week in the championship. It's going to be very, very difficult, isn't it?
It is. Warrington haven't been beaten at home this season, and to come here they play good tight rugby league. Their defence is very tough. They like using their sets of six, kicking downfield and hoping the opposition will come up with the error. Jonathan
Davis to start, and just looking at the size of Davis, this isn't a very big Warrington three-quarter line. They may have problems on this big pitch, and well, Martin Crompton appeared to have problems, Joe, but no knock on.
No, I think it came off his legs and in the front of his body. He didn't actually touch it with his hands. The referee said play on.
So it's Oldham in possession, and it's the big, strong, young prop, Paul Norman, into action. Oldham, good, powerful pack, and that number 7, Mark Crompton, bringing them forward. These forwards will relish the conditions in midfield. Gary Lord, former Halifax player. The ball back to Wilson Marsh, but the ball kicked out on the full. And if it's kicked out on the full in rugby league, outside the 20-metre area, it's ball back, and it's Warrington's in possession. Oldham with a very strong wind behind them. Mackey trying to open it out, as we said. Bruce Maguire, 33 years of age, but still running like a 2-year-old. Mackey, Shelford. I think Joe Warrington will try to open this ball out, use this pace like Mark Foster there on the wings.
Well, as Steve said earlier, Warrington play a tight game and then wait for their opposition to make mistakes. Oldham have just done that, putting the kick out on the full, and now they're in the territory, the danger territory. They'll try and exploit that possession.
Well, a testing grubber kick there for Wally Gibson, the Oldham fullback, but up to the job. And Paul Topping there running into what looks like Blackpool Beach. Let's hope the tide doesn't come in before 4:30. Joe Faimalo, brother of Assini, Leeds. And a knock on. I think we should have some sympathy with these players, Steve. As far as handling's concerned, it's going to be very difficult, isn't it?
It is going to be difficult, and as you see there, he's getting up. There may have been a hand involved there. He may have been a little bit unlucky, but once again, Oldham have come up with an error inside their half.
Jonathan Davis. Well held by Steve Garland and Marsh. Paul Derbyshire. One of 2 or 3 very good runners in this Warrington pack. It might not be the biggest pack, but they certainly can gallop. Another one here, a former standoff up there with the Kells Amateur Club in Cumbria. Dave Elliott. Mackey. Nice switch inside, back to Lee Penny. But the players having difficulty moving in this quite of sand. Shelford finds a good gap there for Davis. Oh, and Jonathan Davis strikes, but it was that pass inside from the Kiwi that sent the Welshman over. Andy Goodway has been putting out in print all week that this was the man he feared, and how true his words have become. Davis, his 14th try of the season.
You'll see it's a good inside ball here from Kelly Shelford. He draws the defence. Jonathan Davies, a big hole there, and with strength over to score a fine try.
It's David Stevenson, actually, the Oldham hooker, that comes into the tackle, leaves the gap on the inside, and Jonathan Davis, right place at the right time, and over the line for a great try.
And he certainly, Davis, one thing he really does have, it is pace off the mat. We see him, he shoots through there, his momentum takes him in.
Well, you notice when they got on the outside there, it's quite easy to run. They were getting bogged down in the middle earlier on with all the sand, and they have to keep away from that because, as I say, on the outside of the pitch it's okay.
An incredible point scorer, this man. 1,898 points now since coming into rugby league in January 1989, and there's another 2 points to that. So Jonathan Davis continues with his amazing point scoring, and he takes Warrington out to an early lead, 6-0. In fact, Steve, the pitch in the past, 30-40 minutes has dried out considerably.
It has. The sun's out and it is drying it out quickly. I should imagine another half hour or so that the pitch won't be in such bad condition.
Oldham then, as we said, with a very strong wind behind them, but not as yet taking much advantage. Alan Bateman. Warrington just using the forwards to bring this ball away. David Elliott there, number 12. And here Gary Tees, another one of many Cumbrians here at Wilderspool. Bruce Maguire.
I think this is where Warrington resort to the tight game, play it up with the forwards, then a good kick, and as we said before, wait for Oldham to make those mistakes. They've made 2 already, and one of them has cost them a try.
Scott Ranson. Oldham 3 times winners of this Challenge Cup, but their last appearance were in the days of Reg Farrer, Bob Sloman and Sid Ricks way back in the 20s. And a little argument there.
You'll see again here, I think Barlow may have got a hand in again, but this is the 3rd time that Oldham have had the ball in their territory and they've lost the ball. Yeah, definitely pulled out, I think, there, but it was unsighted.
Certainly got to keep hold of the sequence of 6s. Lee Penny. Johnson. Brian Johnson trying to make play for Warrington, obviously tactically down this left-hand side. We've seen a lot of attacks down here. But that's a good run by David Elliott. Warrington now on the attack. Mackey looking to open out. Shelford, that's a good ball from Shelford. Oh, and Mark Foster came in well from the wing there. Shelford again at the heart of things. Bruce Maguire retrieving. And Warrington's turn this time to lose the ball. Not only the difficult conditions underfoot, I think, making that ball slippy, but the wind rather tricky here. And there is a penalty. Referee John Holsworth alleging that Warrington ripped the ball out of Number 8, Paul Norman's grasp. Here we've got a good view of it, and it certainly looks as if Greg Mackey was doing something illegal there. Oldham then on the attack. David Stevenson trying to send Jason Tebow on the short pass, but Warrington offside. And it's certainly worth a kick, I think, from here, Steve. There's a very strong wind behind.
It is a good option here to take the kick, because with the wind behind, they'll definitely make the ball dead. If they miss the goal, it's a 22-metre drop out, and they will get the ball back.
And, well, why we should have a bucket of sand coming on this pitch. We really have had many tons put on here this week. The ground staff have really worked overtime trying to get this pitch in good condition. In fact, it's interesting, just while Paul Topping's taking this kick, I had a letter from a reader, Joe, in the Isle of Man, and you're a goal kicker. We've been talking about Fran Obotica and Jonathan Davis as great kickers. He said we were probably doing a disservice to the likes of Jim Sullivan from pre-war, who had to kick the old leather ball that gathered up water. They had no sand underneath. Do you think so?
Yeah, I think different time, different conditions, obviously a different wall, but I think great kickers like Jim Sullivan would have made it today as well. If you have got the talent and you got the ability, then I'm sure you could have kicked as well today as you could have then.
So it's Wilson Marsh to take the kick, and it just flits around there, just to the side of the post. So Wilson Marsh, the Kiwi, taking the kick. Of course, Paul Topping is another goal kicker for Oldham. Got a good choice, but still no points on the scoreboard for the visitors. Adrian Bell, former Oldham St Anne's player, and Faimalo have seen this second row in 1 or 2 championship matches in recent weeks. He certainly can run, he certainly can make a break. Marsh to Gary Lord, and there is a break from Lord. He's got Mike Kuita with him. Good cover there by Lee Penny, but it's Oldham really on the attack now. Martin Crompton to Marsh to Faimalo. Stevenson looking to find a gap on that short side. Back again to Crompton and Marsh calling the shots here in midfield. Kuiti's got a good gap there on the outside. Oh, and he has a superb pass. It's a try. He's put Scott Ranson in at the corner. He really had to go for that try, did the former St Helens and Swinton lad. But Mr Holsworth is adamant that he got that ball down at the corner. That took some scoring. But it was that long pass that did the trick.
You see Warrington use a very tight defence. Foster's infield there. Now he can't get out there, he hasn't got enough time. And it's very difficult to see from that camera angle. If we have another look we may judge, but it's been awarded anyway.
Yeah, long passes here. Oldham certainly not afraid to throw the ball wide. Kuiti throws a miss pass onto the wing. Ranson gets low into the corner. Yes, just managed to get the ball down there. I think it was a correct decision.
A very difficult kick here for Marsh. Very difficult underfoot. The approach to the ball, very wet, very heavy. And of course, right out on the touchline. But the lad from Manukau looks to have the kick, and it's certainly a good one. He spent all Friday morning practicing kicks like that at Watershed. The pitch is no doubt heavy there. There's been rain all around the northwest, and here he is at Wilderspool again. But it's this long pass that just gives Scott Ranson a sight of that line, and doesn't he do well? No lack of courage there. And offside again. certainly Mr. Holsworth's really having no truck with this Warrington side. That's the second time they've been penalised for offside. He's keeping a very, very wide 10 metres. Of course, all referees have been instructed in recent weeks to clamp down on the 10-metre rule.
And Oldham on the bench will feel that the advice that went onto the pitch just before that missed penalty has paid its dividends. They were saying that the players were too tentative. They weren't holding the ball for the 6 tackles. They weren't really satisfied with the circumstances that they lost the ball on 3 occasions, but they've certainly settled down now.
Well, certainly Oldham have settled down, really putting the pressure on this Warrington line, on this fifth and last tackle here, moving this ball across to Marsh. That's a nice grubber kick. It's really put pressure on Lee Penny. All he can do is scramble that ball away. These two half-backs for Oldham certainly causing problems.
And a good option here on the last tackle to put the ball through along the ground, making Penny scramble to get the ball dead over the line, and resulting in a dropout now, and Oldham will regain possession.
No real form guide in the Championship this season. Oldham in fact beat Warrington in the league at Watershed by 52 points to 22, but here at Wilderspool it was Warrington's turn for 55-6, so plenty of scoring possibly in prospect.
We mentioned conditions, Ray, underfoot. Certainly the pitch is in quite a bad state, and we mentioned the wind as well, but we haven't mentioned the sun yet. That will be a big factor, I think, today. Strong sun in the face of Warrington in this first half, and I'm sure you'll see later on, if the sun continues to shine like this, some high balls troubling Lee Penny at full back.
There speaks a full back who's obviously had to contend with that here at Wilderspool, Joe. And it's Warrington defence having contend here with some powerful forward play from the Oldham pack, with Marsh and this man, number 7, Crompton, doing the probing in midfield. Kuwaiti once again bringing Scott Ranson in, and Ranson on this left wing really causing problems for the Wires defence. Martin Crompton, an ex-Warrington player himself, trying the little rubber kick, but this time well held. And on this occasion, much to the amusement of the Warrington supporters, it's Oldham who are caught offside.
Oldham attacking Warrington's right-hand side there. They've got Kuwaiti running at Alan Bateman all the time.
Oldham, of course, the last club to knock Wigan out of the cup way back in February 1987.
Don't I remember it?
David Stevenson, good probing run there from the former British Amateur Rugby League international, one of the Queen's Park amateurs in Leeds. And it's Oldham making the early inroads here. Crompton, Marsh. Both sides have got to take play out of this very, very heavy middle. Jason Timu, another Kiwi from Manukau. Crompton with a high kick, taking note of what Joe Lyden has said. Paul Topping drops the ball, but nevertheless a tricky ball for the Warrington defence to cope with. But a knock-on on the 6th tackle, so the handover. And Iestyn Harris first touch of the ball, this Welsh international. And there we can see, Steve, how Oldham have started out.
They started off slow, but the last sets of 6 they've controlled the ball good, and they've had a good kicking game, putting Warrington under a lot of pressure.
And a penalty against Oldham for lying on at the play of the ball. Mr. Holsworth just shouting to the players he wants a quick play of the ball.
And a good way the Oldham coach won't be happy with this. They'd had Oldham on the rack with a little bit of pressure, and give them a silly penalty and let them get out of their own half.
Barlow to take the tap, and once again 10 metres. He's certainly setting his stall out with that this afternoon, Steve.
He is. He done the same to Warrington earlier on. They were offside when they come up to take the tap from the penalty. Now Oldham's done the same. Jonathan Davies will have a shot for goal. As I said before, if he does miss it, he should make the ball dead, and then Warrington will get the ball back. They're a mile offside there. No excuses for that. And your team don't need penalties like that because you're just putting them under pressure.
Jonathan Davies then, certainly well advised to have a shot with this penalty. Referring back to our argument over the kickers, it's interesting to note how many kickers today with this round the corner style are so small. People like Jonathan Davies, Fran Obotica, Bobby Goulding, Dean Marwood up at Workington there. It really is a case of accuracy and style. And certainly this is one player who has the style. Jonathan Davies looking for 2 points, just curls that ball to the left of the upright. So the score still remaining, all square.
As you said, Steve, though, Warrington will get the ball back off this restart. And that kick there, although he missed the 2 points, the chance of 2 points, it slowed the game down and just took that momentum away from Oldham.
Andy Bennett just coming on the field there, super sub as he's known here at Wilderspool, his 19th substitution this season, but certainly he's a player who makes an impact. Andy Bennett, former Woolston Amateurs. And that was a bad mistake from Warrington, Steve.
It was. They had Oldham now. Now they've let them off pressure now because they're deep inside their own area.
But I think that was the sun, Ray. The Warrington player couldn't see the ball as it came towards him because of the sun over the stand.
A significant difference in the weights there on those two packs. It may not count so much these days in the scrummaging, but certainly it could count as this pitch cuts up even further in the drives in midfield. Another knock-on.
You'll see here Gary Sanderson, the ball actually went backwards, but he's ruled that he's lost the ball in the tackle, and it's a scrum with Oldham feed.
And Marsh in possession, just 20 minutes gone in this first half. Gary Lord looking for a gap. They play the ball, but it's Warrington in possession now with Lee Penny. 20 years old fullback. Elliott. David Elliott done well to recover from a couple of hernia operations. Certainly this heavy pitch won't be good for that. Mackey looking for Kelly Shelford. He finds him, but the pass finds Oldham and Scott Ranson in particular. Good run there from Steve Gartland. And Adrian Bell coming in, looking to offload a little pressure off her wing. Very powerful squat. Well built wingman, this number 2 for Oldham. Timu. Certainly this Oldham pack is really causing a few problems, Joe.
Yeah, they have the size advantage and the weight, but I think both teams are using the width of the pitch. They've realised that it's going to be heavy going up the middle. Just trying to get to the flanks where the speed of play is a little faster. I'm sure that will be a tactic that will be used consistently throughout the day.
Oh, the teasing kick there. Who's underneath it? Jonathan Davies is. Well, once again, the old adage, never let a ball bounce, and when you do let a ball bounce, anyone can pick it up, but a good kick there from Martin Crampton. But luckily for Warrington, Davies underneath.
Yeah, it was great accuracy, this kick. Put it in at the goal post, in goal area. Once again, for the second time, no Warrington player has played at the football and giving Oldham the chance. Now, anyone could have fallen on that ball. Lucky enough, it was Jonathan Davies.
Wilson Marsh arrived at Oldham this season. And again, offside. Well, surely at some stage, both sets of players will get the message. Kelly Shelford there, not happy with Mr. Holsworth's decision, but not many firmer referees. And again, another effort from Wilson Marsh.
I see over there, Easton Harris is getting treatment for his jaw. Before he's moved to the right-hand centre now, Easton Harris. And before Mike Kuwaiti went in to tackle him, and as he did, I think he just caught an arm or elbow off Kuwaiti, but he doesn't seem too good over there, Easton Harris.
Yes, he's only a teenager. He's one of the 3 Warrington players here who will be journeying to France next weekend for the final of the European Championship. So Marsh, the hero of the 4th round, can he be the hero of the 5th round? On quite dry turf out there. And it's a good one. Oh, that's a very good kick. He flighted it well in the wind. Oldham have that wind behind them, and certainly an excellent 2 points. 8-6 for Oldham.
Well, you said it was a penalty that could cost Warrington here, and it's a dear lesson to learn when you're 2 points there from a silly mistake.
He didn't actually appear to hit that real good, but it still went between the posts. He seemed to get a lot of sand under his foot. There's the high tackle there now on Easton Harris. He makes the tackle, and Kuwaiti comes up high with the elbow.
Kuwaiti there leading with the elbow, Steve.
Yeah, he definitely was.
Bell. One thing that's impressed me about Oldham so far, Joe, that they've really brought the ball away well from their own line.
It's about that shaky little start they had the first 5 minutes with a few mistakes and drop balls. After that, they've held the ball very well and made very good yards with fast play the balls and skirting runs from people like the hooker here.
Good news for the Warrington centre, Alan Bateman. He went straight off the pitch to have treatment to a badly jarred left shoulder, but he's now back on the bench. The shoulder isn't dislocated. Good news for Warrington, good news for Wales too. He'll be playing for them next weekend against France.
Bateman been in the wars this season. He's had troubles with hamstrings earlier on. No doubt we may see him back in action later. And Mark Forster, the wing, having to come into the action, having to help out, and certainly it needs a good stint from these Warrington forwards. People here like Bruce Maguire, got to get through a lot of work. Greg Mackey looking down that blind side. Warrington favour this tactic down the blind. You can very often have 1 or 2 old forwards just hanging out on that blind side, looking for a breather.
I think they're unlucky not to be penalised then, Oldham, because they had a play that come in late in that tackle.
Scott Branson coming in midfield there, and here being helped by his other wing, Bell.
He looks a pretty handy player, Bell. He's come in the line, he's made a half break before, and he certainly likes getting involved.
There he is again, moving the ball out to Crompton and Marsh. It's interesting to see Faimalo out there. We've seen Kuwaiti out there. They're certainly sending those second rows and loose forwards out wide, but that's another high, towering kick. Penny's underneath it. He's missed it. Gary Lord is on there for Oldham. He couldn't get that ball away, but Oldham desperate to get it to playing. Mike Kuwaiti had a charge himself. Back to Topping. Still moving around. Gartland. Warrington having difficulty with this high ball. All Norman, former Wigan Academy player. Crompton using Marsh. He's got Topping out here. Manages to get it back to Gibson. The ball went behind him. But Gibson having difficulty underfoot. And that's a penalty. That's a penalty. Maguire trying to rip the ball out of the player's grasp. You can't do that. And that really is a silly one.
You see Bruce Maguire, he's getting around to play the ball before the ball has cleared the ruck area. You have to wait till the ball clears the marker and the man playing the football. And Bruce Maguire definitely got his arm around there before either player played at the ball.
So it's this man again, Wilson Marsh, probably with the easiest of 3 attempts. Just steadies himself just to the right of that heavy sand patch. No problems from the Kiwi. He's certainly welcoming the indiscipline of the Warrington side and the judgments of the referee, Mr. Holsworth. 10-6 to Oldham.
He stuck this one well as well. He took a lot of sand on that occasion too, Steve, but it went straight between the posts.
It all come from what you were saying before, Joe, that the sun was in Lee Penny's eyes. They put up the high kick. He's come up with the error, and Oldham have held the ball. They got a penalty and taken the 2 points.
Joe Faimalo. Oh, and that was a good switch down to the blind side here. Certainly the Warrington defence hadn't regrouped down this short side. And here is the Oldham hooker, David Stevenson, coming away well. Timu. It's interesting to see Mike Kuiti. He's always down that left-hand side, Joe.
Yeah, I think you mentioned at the beginning of the programme that the Warrington backs was slightly small in size. And I think Oldham have also obviously noticed that. Andy Goodway, the coach, will have instructed Faimalo and Kuiti to run at the smaller Warrington backs and hopefully make some ground.
And that was well taken by Lee Penny. Never took his eye off the ball, perfectly positioned. And a good run from Bennett. And Warrington have really got to haul themselves back in this game. Plenty of work, I think, needed from these forwards. The initiative at the moment with the visitors. Barlow.
Warrington sent to Alan Bateman nursing the injured shoulder. Alan, Oldham have picked their game up and are making a match of it, haven't they?
Well, they're outplaying us at the moment, yeah, and we need to concentrate more and play with the ball a bit more to sort of put them in a bit of trouble.
How's your shoulder? Will you get back on?
I'm hopefully he can get back on for the second half, yeah.
Thanks, Alan.
No problems there for Oldham fullback Wally Gibson, just content to let the ball roll dead. That makes a tap on the 20-metre line. And David Stevenson looking for someone to take it. It's common practice these days, Steve. I mean, you're the coach there at Halifax, for backs to take the ball on the 20-metre line. Why is this? In my day, it was forwards.
Well, they make yardage quicker. They're a lot faster. They can make that 10-15 metres very quickly. And you see the replay here, young David Stevenson just made the error there. And Warrington get the feeder from a scrum here.
But does it help the length of their careers?
Well, it probably doesn't. No, not running at the big forwards all the time, it doesn't.
Penny. Paul Derbyshire, one back, now used to running at forwards, in the loose forward or second row spot for Wildersborough this past couple of seasons. Bruce Maguire, always a forward, big, rough, tough Aussie. Warrington then now looking to reply. And offside. Mr. Holsworth initially playing the advantage, and play on. Warrington moving quickly. Yestin Harris trying to take advantage. Back to Kelly Shelford. Oh, no support there. And again, a penalty this time against Warrington for not playing the ball correctly, not standing up. We've had a lot of criticism over this. One or two viewers have written to me saying how many of the players are not playing the ball. But I must confess, I thought Shelford there was a victim of interference.
I think somebody had the hand in the ball. I don't think he could play it properly. The rule states that you must get to your feet before you play the ball. You can't place the ball on the floor, play it before standing up.
You just see there that John Holdsworthy has called on the scrapper to rub the blood off Gary Tease's face. You cannot stay on the field if you've got blood on. He's getting it wiped away, and if he can't get rid of it, he'll have to go off and get it treated.
Five years here at Wilderspool, Gary Tease. Mackie then with the head and scrum. Mackie again, always at the hub of things. Oh, that's a good ball to Kenny Shelford, but Shelford just couldn't get that ball away to Davis. Similar to that first try to Warrington. But Oldham defence holding so far. Again, down this left-hand side. Mackie. Almost lost his direction there. Maguire, oh, that could be a dangerous serve pass out there wide for Oldham. Harris going down that corner, gets it inside. Oh, a fortunate knockback. For 1 minute I thought the ball was going to be deflected by an Oldham player to a Wires attacker, but no, Wally Gibson came up with the ball. Desperate defence here from the visitors. They hold on to this ball for this sequence of 6. Just 6 minutes left in this first half. Oldham leading by 10 points to 6. And a knock on.
You'll have a look here. And they've got the football. Yeah, he lost the ball. I don't think there was a hand in that at all. They never raked the ball out. He's trying to struggle in the tackle, and as he's struggling, he actually loses the ball himself there.
Warrington making a desperate effort here now in the closing minutes of this first half to level or go in the lead. Mark Hilton, the substitute, just arrived on the field for Gary Tease. He's just nipped into the blood bin. Mackie. Picked up by Ransom. The best phase in this first half here for Warrington. At last, Warrington showing something of their form. 6th in the league. Oldham currently lying in 8th position. So very little between them. And Gary Tease in the blood bin. Mike Coetti, loose forward, setting the example up front. And a good kick from Marsh sets Lee Penny backpedaling down there right to that Warrington line. That's certainly a good kick.
That's exactly what they needed, Oldham. They had to retain possession for the 6 tackles, and on the last tackle put a good kick down. They had a good chase. That Sun was a factor again. Lee Penny couldn't take the ball cleanly.
All Derbyshire. Hilton just can't control it. Gives Oldham the chance. Wally Gibson coming up here now in midfield. A very tricky customer is this Aussie. Oldham signed him from Huddersfield. Timu, strong, straight, direct type of front row forward. Back to Crompton. Crompton and Marsh. Coetti down that left-hand side again. Clever play there by Coetti, trying to put the ball just around the tackler's back. Couldn't quite manage it, but the intention was there. Stevenson did well there, turned for support. Martin Crompton. Oh, Crompton just couldn't get there. certainly causing a lot of problems is Martin Crompton. Nice little grubber kick there, not really interfered with.
They're varying the kicking styles here though, especially Martin Crompton. He's put some high balls up and then the grubber kick through, causing problems for Lee Penny, the full-back.
I believe Crompton's keen to play for this new Ireland team, Joe. Is he too late for the Ireland v America match in Washington on St Patrick's Day?
Well, I think the decision's been made to stick with the youth and the amateur policy, especially seeing that the Irish development is in its infancy, and I think that's the right decision. But I'm sure as it develops and grows within the game in Ireland, then there'll be chances for professional players to play at the international level.
Oldham driving in. Might it be worth a drop goal? Oh, well, he was considering it. Back to Paul Topping. Not the best of efforts.
It may be a crucial period, that part of the game, being down 6-10 at this stage. Warrington, they'll go in, they'll have the wind behind their back the second half. If they can hold them out now, I think it's going to go a long way to their cause.
I think that's a significant factor, Steve. It really is a strong wind, isn't it? And I'm certain that the likes of Jonathan Davis or Greg Mackey will be putting that ball deep down in Oldham territory.
They'll definitely be playing in Oldham's half next in the second half.
Mark Hilton, one of the young crop of forwards coming in the game. Greg Mackey. Nice switch inside to Maguire, and that was a good pass again to Kenny Shelford, but good clamping of the ball there by Oldham. Warrington moving this ball once again down this left-hand side. Oh, presenting problems for Oldham there. Andy Bennett knocked on. Well, the substitute, he came from nowhere. He scored 2 tries against you in the league last week, Steve.
He was awarded 2 tries against us last week, yes, and actually this is a good call because he definitely knocks the ball on there, and it's no try.
I'm not quite sure what Adrian Bell was doing though. He seemed to be taking his time there, getting back to that ball. He should have made sure of it, either dropped on it or kicked it down.
Certainly good anticipation by Bennett. Timu. Oldham will want to settle this down here in midfield, just play up to this half-time hooter. Crompton to Marsh, he did well to take that ball. Wally Gibson. A good tackle there by Elliott. Bell, again, proving difficult to put down. That's a good pass. Kuwaiti, he's got some space out wide. But good anticipation there by Mark Forster, the Warrington wing. He came in well, stopped that dangerous movement. And another difficult one for Penny, but again, well taken. Good running. A lot of controversy, a lot of talk over Scott Ranson's try for Oldham. They've been talking about introducing in-goal touch judges for the World Cup, but I doubt, Joe, whether even he could tell on this.
No, even in slow motion, it's hard to tell whether Ranson actually crossed the touchline before he grounded the ball. The ball did go down in the in-goal area, and he did get downward pressure, but it would be very difficult to tell whether he actually was in touch before that happened.
Certainly the corner flag goes down, whether a Warrington player or whether an Oldham player. It's very difficult, Steve, isn't it?
It is difficult, and we're looking at it very slow. In actual fact, the touch judges, and even if there was an in-goal touch judge, it's very hard. He's going flat out at full speed. It would be very hard to tell.
Well, as you say, it's difficult, and that's the speed that the touch judge and the referee have to give a decision on. Very difficult for them.
Yeah, the touch judge was right on the spot though, and he gave the decision. I think he gave the try and said that he wasn't in touch.
Well, whatever, as an old friend of mine used to say, it's in the papers on Monday, and that's where it all counts. It means that Warrington here coming out are still trailing, and trailing by that 4 points difference. But the elements in Wyre's favour. A lot of work from Oldham then, I think, this final 40 minutes. certainly the Oldham side and the Oldham performance so far has been all credit to the coach, Andy Goodway, former Great Britain second row star, who arrived at Oldham this year. And we were talking about the ball earlier. That's one of the new lightweight type of ball. They certainly can be kicked considerable distances, even against the wind, as we saw there. Lee Penny in possession. And it'll be interesting to see just when Warrington elect to kick this ball to get it down to that Oldham line. Using the big forwards here with Mark Hilton. Now then, this prop forward, he really can run. Going all the way, just a haul down there. But tremendous lift, certainly, for Warrington. Puts them on the attack straight away. Yestin Harris. Out to Shelford. Shelford, he's got Lee Penny. Oh, Penny just, I don't think, saw the three men outside him. But still Warrington in position. Little tangle there with Crompton's legs. Greg Mackey uses the dummy. But the ball being adjudged to have gone behind him on the fifth tackle, and Mackey is injured. He's struggled with a very bad shoulder injury in recent weeks.
Yeah, he just lost sight of the ball. He went backwards off Mackey, and then he had to drop on the ball. I think he might have damaged that shoulder again. It looks very, very much like that.
Well, he certainly had that shoulder damage, but what a brave little man he is. We see there that he was signed from Hull in 1992, and he's had 191 games consecutively in that time. Here he is, he goes down, and he does go on that shoulder. Oldham just getting out of trouble, but not yet quite out. This is good effort, and there is Mackey again, shrugging off that shoulder. A brave skipper, leading from the front. Roars of wire going around this ground. The nickname, of course, for Warrington from the days of the wire pulling industry here in Cheshire.
Andy Goodway, the Oldham coach, came out of the dressing room smiling at half-time, happy with his team's performance. He said they won't be changing anything, they'll be playing the same way they did in the first half. Brian Johnson, on the other hand, for Warrington, well, he's hoping that the elements will favour Warrington this second half. The low sun, the wind with them.
Andy Bennett's the substitute. 19th time he's arrived on the field this season from that substitutes bench, and usually with a dramatic impact. Derbyshire taking the ball upfield, and Andy Goodway in relaxed mood. Shelford, long pass, looking to Jonathan Day. We've not seen him much in the action since that opening try, Steve.
He's been very quiet, and when he has got the ball, Oldham have contained him well.
Well taken by Wally Gibson.
Jonathan Davis might have had a quiet game, but you know only too well that any time in the game he can inject himself into the game and with devastating effect and usually score some points.
Well, we certainly saw that at Wembley in that first test against Australia, didn't we?
And Oldham will be very aware of Warrington's tremendous track record here at Wilderspool, being undefeated here at home in this season, so we're going to have to work very, very hard to stay on top in this game.
And Oldham, of course, never won here in the Challenge Cup. Mike Kiwiti once again running out wide. Casey Kiwi loose forward. Back to another crafty Kiwi, Marsh, but picked up well there by Warrington's Mark Forster.
You can see Greg Mackey, he's holding his shoulder again now. He was wincing when he made the tackle on Q80, then Q80 ran at Mackey's bad shoulder and he come up holding it.
He's been in considerable difficulties for the past 2 or 3 weeks, had a lot of physio there. But he's a fiery customer. Sanderson, former Fattle Heath amateur, 9 seasons here at Wilderspool, and Mackey launching Shelford again to Elliott. Oh, that's a good ball from Elliott to Maguire. Now then, we've got Bennett here on this outside. Oh, Bennett snatched at the ball. He really was coming inside before he'd taken the pass. Hard luck for the youngster there.
That was a switch move that Warrington used so well. It seemed harder to not score the try than scoring on that occasion. I thought that was going to be a definite 4 points for Warrington. They definitely bombed that try there.
And certainly good work before Bennett got that ball from prop Bruce Maguire. All the scrums going with the head. And Oldham a chance to regroup. Marsh acting sensibly there, allowing his pack to come away from that scrum, playing it to the blind side. Now it's the turn of the forwards. Crompton was looking to launch Joe Faimalo or Gary Lord there. Couldn't quite get away. Here is Kuwaiti now. Back to Marsh. And that's the type of kick that we possibly will see in this win. He certainly didn't judge that win, did he, Steve?
He didn't. He done exactly the same thing in the first 5 minutes of the first half. Kicked the ball out in the full, and Warrington are now on the attack.
With Marsh putting them on the attack. Mark Hilton. To Derbyshire. Warrington putting the pressure on now in this second half, trailing by 10 points to 6. Mackey to Shelford. Shelford, good ball out there to Harris. Harris lingering in midfield. Mackey again. Well, forced to pass away there on the 5th tackle. Shelford puts that little rubber kick in. Elliott's there. Oh, but that was well taken. Very, very well taken there by Scott Ranson. He came in, he spotted Shelford's kick. And it's Oldham still holding on to this lead. 47 minutes gone. And Bell coming away well there to Topping. A lot of gritty play from this Oldham three-quarter line.
Yeah, they're in front of Oldham. No, you know, they're not going to take this line down. They want to keep their lead and want to prove that they are capable of winning this game.
Kuwaiti.
If they are actually going to win the game, though, Steve, it's going to be going to have to stop the mistakes, silly mistakes.
Marsh again trying to judge that wind, and once again the ball out on the full as Gary Tees prepares to come back on. He really is having difficulties, isn't he, Steve?
Yeah, I don't think any good way to be too pleased with that, because he had all the time in the world. There was no pressure on him whatsoever, and he still put the ball out in the full.
Might he not be better just, Joel, to kick for position rather than to touch?
He might be letting somebody else kick altogether.
Tees already on the field. Oh, that was a good tackle. Good tackle there from Tees. As Jason Timu drives in down that right-hand side, and Oldham substitute Paul Davidson preparing to come on. Gary Lord. And there is Paul Davidson, the Cumbrian, former witness player, on the field for Paul Norman. One big man, here he is, replacing another.
He's got plenty of pace for a big man too, Paul Davidson. If he gets in the clear, they'll be flat out catching him.
Oh, knock on. Thank you very much, Mark Foster, says Oldham's Wally Gibson from this kick.
Mark Foster appeals to the referee that it came off his chest, but I think he did make an attempt to try and catch that one.
Crompton to Marsh. Oldham will want to get away from that patch of sand, and they do so here. Crompton again. Oh, he's got Gibson going for that line, just a metre short. Crompton again to Stevenson. Stronger hooker, this lad, this number 9, strong upper body strength, and Crompton again manipulating, manoeuvring in midfield. Back this time to Gary Lord. Halifax losing themselves a little there. Should I say Oldham rather. And a good chip kick again.
Well, that was a better passage of play there from Oldham. No mistake, football. Then put the little kick in, keep the pressure on Warrington and make them force them to drop out. You see the lovely weighted kick here from Crompton. Mark Foster gathers this ball this time. And Jonathan Davis drops out.
And that just shows the length of that kick from his own line, but it's good running here by the Oldham wing. Bell, he made good ground there, Steve, didn't he?
I think he's had an impressive game, Adrian Bell. He seems to get involved a lot, and more than most, he beats the first tackle all the time.
Davidson.
Paul Norman has taken a rest for Oldham. This is good play by Oldham, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a hard game this morning in a way, but I think we keep going as we are. I think we should be able to pull it off. It's been a hard game. I'm not used to the pace, as you can tell.
Really, it's going to be a case of holding out now, isn't it? Because Warrington are going to come at you.
Yeah, but we've got a good defence, plenty of discipline this time, this season. I think we'll be out Oldham.
Thanks, Owen.
I think the significance in the forward exchanges and substitution, it's certainly going to tell with this heavy ground, these heavy conditions will tell on these big men. Another one there, Paul Derbyshire off the field having a breather, Mark Hilton on. I would think sooner or later one of these defences must crack. Picked up well there by Barlow. Picked up 7 tries this season, this Kiwi hooker from close in. Jonathan Davis. But Oldham keeping a very tight rein on the Welshman. Another Welshman, Harris, with a little grubber kick through. Not obstructed, says Mr. Holsworth. And Wally Gibson just battling to get that ball over the line, of course, rather than be tackled behind it, which would result in a dropout behind the posts. Yes, and Harris, another youngster, improving every week. Still Oldham holding on to this lead. Still Mike Kuwait is setting the lead down this left flank. Crompton to Marsh. Back to Forster. Harris. Warrington have certainly had difficulties, Joe, in launching what is a very pacey three-quarter line.
Yes, they haven't got the speed in the backs, but it's just been a bit lethargic getting the ball out there. Usually Mackey fires long passes to Shelford and they get the three-quarters moving very quickly. Today that hasn't happened.
But there I think we do see in this half, Steve, what that wind advantage has done for Warrington.
Well, it has. They've had most of the possession, but not taking anything away from Oldham, they have defended well.
Now then, can they defend from this high one? Gibson's underneath it. Oh, he takes it magnificently. That was superb play by the Aussie, and he still gets up to come running away with it. Joe, as an ex-fullback, that was good fullback play.
Superb. He's just stood his ground, kept his eye on the ball, jumped well and took a great catch from a very high kick from Jonathan Davis.
Greg Mackey's on the ground, got on the ground, injured in back play there.
He really is struggling as this Warrington skipper. It's a case, I think, of gritting his teeth, of battling against the pain with that shoulder. But whether it's politic to keep him on the field or not, only coach Brian Johnson will know.
He definitely has the ability to run the show for Warrington. He seems to be involved in all the moves, sets all the play up. So I'm sure from that point of view alone, Brian Johnson will want to keep Mackey on the field.
And certainly Mackey will not want to leave the field, if I know him. Lee Penny trying to catch Oldham by surprise down that left touchline. And Gary Sanderson taking the more conventional route through the sand. Mackey still there at the hub of things, along with the half-back partner Shelford. Barlow to Mackey again, driving this Warrington side forward. Certainly, if anyone deserves a try, it's that scrum half. There is Barlow going for the line himself. He loses it. Warrington doing a lot of attacking, Steve, but just losing the opportunity close to the line.
They just seem to have lost their direction a little bit, and then Barlow there he ran from dummy half, then tried to push a pass instead of a quick play of the ball. They're just trying to push it a little bit at the moment, Warrington.
And on the Warrington bench, the number 7 has just been withdrawn from the Warrington substitutes numbers box. I wonder what that says about the future of Greg Mackey in this game. We'll see shortly.
Again looking to clear downfield, but again the force of that wind meaning that he's not gaining many yards. Good pass from Harris to Penny, but again the Oldham markers are there. Harris, nice pass to Forster. Plenty of speed down this right flank for Warrington if they can launch it, and plenty of power here. Mark Hilton. To Sanderson. Quite a few handling errors, as we might expect. 17, very even on both sides, but at least to the credit of both sides, they are trying to move the ball. It's not just simple forwards driving down the middle, but just look at that, 57 minutes gone, and look at the number of tackles made already, Steve.
Yeah, it's been one of those games where good ball control, just a lot of hard defence, and there hasn't been a lot of opportunities for either side.
Just noticed, watching the forwards watch that last scrum though, that there's some very tired players out there, and I'm sure the gaps will start to develop the later this game goes.
I think it's a case of one side, Joe, trying to camp out on the other line, and eventually just gaps come through sheer tiredness.
Yeah, but Oldham must stay focused now. If they want to win this game, they have to. There's a bit of a punch-up going on here now.
Frustration there from Gary Tees. I think he wanted to get up very, very quickly and play the ball. I think he felt he was being held down. But a punch or two won't help the situation, and rightly he accepts his punishment.
You see here, he's in the play of the ball there, he won't get off him, and he gives a penalty away. Since he's been back from the blood bin, Gary Tees has dropped the ball twice and given a penalty away.
And that penalty has allowed Oldham to come back on the attack via Crompton and Kuwaiti. Oldham, short pass to Lord. Oh, he gets that ball away well. It's Oldham on the attack here now to Timu. Topping, cutting inside. Loses the ball. And that'll be a knock-on.
I think Paul Topping may have taken the wrong option then. I think he had players on the outside and he elected to come back infield. There's Paul Topping coming back infield, but I think he had players on the outside.
And it was a good stop too inside from the Warrington fullback, Lee Penny. He certainly had an overlap on the outside. Certainly Adrian Bell had a little space, possibly to try to get in at that corner. But it's Andy Bennett there coming in the standoff position. Justin Harris trying to come off that right foot with the sidestep. Barry Sanderson. Warrington battling hard to get upfield, looking to try to claw back this Oldham lead, 10 points to 6. Coming up to the most difficult quarter, I think, in this match this afternoon. The legs getting more and more tired, especially on the forwards. Shelford, that's a nice little chip kick. Oh, but it just wouldn't bounce for him. On a normal pitch, on a normal day, that little chip kick through there would possibly have been ideal, but it just would not bounce out of the mud. And it's Oldham in possession. Ian Green coming on for the prop forward, Jason Timu. And the back coming on for a forward there, Joe.
Yes, interesting decision. We said that there were going to be some tired legs, those gaps might start to develop. And I think a back might be able to exploit them rather than a forward.
And here is Crompton looking to exploit in concert with Steve Garland. Another former Oldham St Anne's player. Crompton again, emulating Shelford's little chip kick, but once again it didn't come off. That was a good dive by David Elliott. Both sides, really, Steve, absolutely locked in midfield, aren't they?
They are. It's hard to get out of the middle, especially when it's a tight forward game. There's not a lot of ball movement, but it's getting stuck in that area, and it'll just take one of the teams to get the ball a little bit wide, get on the fringes where it's a little bit drier, and work from there.
Jonathan Davis. He saw the gap there, but it closed very, very quickly between Gartland and Marsh. Harris. Both sides now trying the little kicks through. Picked up by Wally Gibson. One or two of the Warrington fans felt it was a knock-on, but not so, says the referee, said it came off his knee. But both sides trying to break up the defences, Steve, now, aren't they, with these little chip kicks, these little grubber kicks, and most difficult to sort of counteract in this difficult weather.
Well, it's the best way to stop defences. Just stop defences moving up quick when they are on a day like today, is them little chip kicks over, and it's putting the defence in two minds.
The sun, of course, now shining quite brightly down here. It's really having an effect on these players. Difficult to pick the ball up quickly, and both sides spotting it. Mackie. Seemingly enjoying himself in the centre. Barlow knocking on. Back to Gibson. Kuiti. It really does need one player on this side, a Crompton for Oldham or a Davis, Joe, to suddenly produce something special.
But you do get the feeling it's going to have one individual performance, one spark of inspiration. I'm sure will either seal the game for Oldham or pinch it for Warrington.
Forward pass, one of the problems about bringing forwards in at an angle is that if they do overrun like this, you get a forward pass like that. Mackie. Shelford trying to bring full-back Lee Penny through there. And again, Harris getting through a lot of work here in midfield, but this Oldham defence still up to the task. Mackie did well then to pick that ball up. Good dummy. Well held by Davidson. But Warrington's moving nearer to that Oldham line, using the big men here now. Shelford again with the kick. Gibson's there. Safety first, no thought of heroics from the full-back after Shelford's kick. He's quite content just to drop on that ball and take his time. He'll take the drop out beneath the posts.
This was a longer kick rather than the chip into the in-goal area. Beautifully weighted kick, and Gibson had no choice but to drop on that ball.
And Alan Bateman, the Welsh Warrington centre, waiting to come on. All Warrington at the moment. Bruce Maguire charging in, played in a couple of grand finals there in Australia. Barlow, strong running Kiwi hooker. Warrington now looking to pull those 4 points back. Oh, the ball out there to Gary Tees. Tees, oh, he had support out wide. But Jonathan Davis can't quite pick that ball up. A few words spoken between Davis and substitute Ian Green, nothing too serious.
He just went too far with the ball, Gary Tees, and he should have passed it earlier. They had 3-on-2 there, and if they had a lot later, Warrington would have scored.
And Alan Bateman back on the pitch, and significant, as we said earlier on, both coaches now putting backs on for forwards.
Yeah, well, the conditions suit the quicker men, the smaller, fast men. These conditions suit them better.
On fresh forward, Paul Davidson there, the Oldham substitute. Compton did well to get that ball away, as did Topping there. Back to Faimalo. But again, just look at that mud and that sand there in the middle, having such difficulty moving away at pace. Back to Marsh. Oldham have employed a good chasing system there. Penny not getting very far. Neither is Forster. That was a good drive, good charge by Gary Tees. A few more needed like that from Warrington. Good defence by Oldham, Steve. They really have come in, sort of moved him very, very quickly down the flanks, cut the moves off to the three-quarter line.
They've worked hard, they're talking good out there, they're talking amongst themselves, and they know at half-time they're in front. They know that if they defend, they'll win this game.
Well, Andy Bennett here with a chance. He's kicked to that corner, but just a little too hard, and the wind taking the kick, but good effort there from the substitute Bennett.
Yeah, the kick was just a little bit too far. I don't think he had a chance to retrieve his kick afterwards. The idea was right, but just a little bit too strong.
Oldham battling just to keep possession here. They want a lot of space between this eventual Warrington attack and their line. Still in that lead, 10 points to 6, just a try difference. A try and a goal could win it for Warrington. Oldham looking for further points to take them away. Marsh out to Green. Very few of these forwards really able to get away from this midfield mud, really pick their feet up. Well, that touched Bennett, he's got to play on. Oh, the dummy. But an equally good tackle by Gary Lord. Mark Forster.
You notice Mark Foster, he runs a lot from dummy half, and 9 times out of 10 when he does run, it's always his left-hand side of the play the ball area.
Mackie. Harris, that was a good pass to Bruce Maguire. Maguire was just lurking a yard or two behind there. He managed to escape. Hilton. But still these men in the red and white hoops come in defence. Davis. Gibson's missed it. Well, it was picked up there by Stevenson. It was not touched, according to the referee, by Gibson, so he wasn't offside. And we see that it wasn't. So nothing to stop that hooker from coming back and picking up the ball. Not offside. And many of these forwards now virtually down to walking pace, Joe.
Yes, the backs are going to have a field day if they can get some of those gaps. The forwards are tiring very, very fast. And I'm sure the gaps are going to come and be exploited as well.
Marsh. Green loses it. Forster. Now then, Warrington with a sequence of 6 tackles close to this Oldham line. Shelford, he's got Maguire with him. That was a good pass from Maguire. It's Warrington out wide here. Oh, Jonathan Davis just couldn't take that ball. He's angry with himself. And once again, Warrington with an overlap can't take advantage of it.
This is only the second or third play from the changeover. They got possession. They're trying to push it. They're trying to push it all the time, Warrington. They need to hang on to the ball for the sets of 6, not try to score off every play.
Yes, Jonathan Davis was not quite there for the pass. He had to stretch.
It's uncharacteristic as well of Warrington to panic in situations like that. Usually they're very clinical. If the opposition make a mistake, then they'll score the try off it.
Paul Topping to Gartland. Scott Ranson was tempted to kick there, but thought better off it. And there's an example of all the hard work put in by these players this afternoon. 159 tackles made by Warrington. 126 by Oldham. That's some work. That's some punishment. Marsh to Faimalo. Bruce Maguire going a little high round the head there. Crompton to Green. But Oldham still in possession. Jason Timu. And I wonder whether, although it's difficult conditions, whether Oldham should try a drop goal.
Well, they've got 6 more tackles because Holsworth's ruled 6 to go. The Warrington touched the ball.
And Crompton trying to make good use of them. To Marsh, Kuiti having a try on his own. A good handoff from Kuiti. Put the ball back. Oldham do well to get it. The hooker driving for the line. Stevenson, oh, he's on his back. Well, it was a good effort. He took the Warrington defence by surprise, but he's on his back. Forced his way through, so no try.
You see here, Stevenson, it's a great run. He gets over the line, but Penny and Easton Harris hold him up, but it'll be Oldham's feed.
And they try a crafty move down the blind side. Crompton sending Davidson almost through them. That was a good tackle by Gary Tees, but that was a good move, and it's Stevenson again, can't quite make it. A metre from this Warrington line. Oldham looking to wrap up this cup tie. Get it to Gibson to Marsh looking for support, can't find it. On the 5th tackle, the ball coming back to Garland. Oh, he's dropped to goal. Well, I said I think we should have a drop goal from Oldham. It delights those Oldham fans. It takes them out 11 points to 6. And didn't he do well to kick it out of that sand, Joe?
Very, very well. This must be like kicking a bag of cement over those posts. Didn't get much height to it, but it's still 1 point, and 1 point that could be very, very important.
Well, that drop goal, it now means that should Warrington score a try, then Jonathan Davis would have to kick the goal. That was well taken by Stevenson. Had a good game, that Oldham hooker.
He has. He's been involved all the time, made a lot of yards from dummy half, and he's controlled the play the ball area very good.
Oldham's Gary Lord. Gary, you don't want to tempt fate, but if you win this, this is going to be a tremendous effort, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Well, we came here to win this game today. I mean, we had a great build-up to the game. Andy's got us cooking, and we're just playing a sets of 6 now. Just forwards taking it up. I mean, it's been a 15-man game today, and every man's worked well.
You were absolutely exhausted when you came off. That's the pitch, isn't it?
It's sort of, yeah, it's like playing on Blackpool Beach.
Thanks, Gary.
The referee, Mr. Holsworth, is giving a judgment there that the ball was stolen. It's going to be very, very interesting here, Joe.
The Oldham player didn't really have control of the ball, but Yestin Harris bends down and picks it out of his grasp.
Well, I think that was a very, very difficult decision there. I mean, the Oldham player, he hadn't really control over that ball. It's just lying behind him. Harris picks it up. Been punished more severely by Mr. Holsworth this afternoon, but that won't bother Oldham. Davidson just coming up to 4 points remaining in this match. 5 points the difference as Oldham again go very, very close. Stevenson causing a lot of problems from the acting half-back position. Back to Crompton. Crompton to Marsh. Marsh can't quite get that ball away. Good play there by Davis and Harris. Crompton again. On the 5th tackle. Marsh is back looking for a drop kick. Crompton's also there. Here is Wilson Marsh. Good charge, yes, play on. It hits a Warrington player. Picked up by Timu. Back to Crompton. Crompton. Warrington defending desperately. Oldham looking to be in Monday's draw. Good work by this Oldham pack, setting up these positions. Just coming up to over 3 minutes left. Oldham in the driving seat. They can take a drop whenever they want. Not now. Martin Crompton making a rare mistake this afternoon for that half-back. What a good game he's had. Very difficult ball for him to take.
It was David Stevenson's. It's a bad pass from the play the ball area, but Oldham got possession from the scrum, one against the head.
Well, this is almost 17, 18 continuous tackles Warrington have had to put in, Steve.
They've had to, and I think they're feeling the pinch, Warrington. I think last week they had a tough game last week, and they're probably feeling the pinch this week.
Joe Faimalo driving in, and there surely is the try that will send Oldham into the next round of the Cup. 15 points to 6, and no wonder the fans and the players are dancing about. It's been a difficult tie for them. Warrington were certainly the favourites before kick-off, but it's been forwards, pack stars like this man Joe Faimalo who have done the damage in the middle.
You see Faimalo, he steams onto the ball here. A lot of power, a lot of strength, determination, and over for a 4-pointer.
Great, hard, straight, strong running from the forward. Justice really that a forward gets this try that could seal the game for Oldham, because they've worked very, very hard in the forward pack, and his power takes him over the line for 4 points that should take Oldham into the next round.
Yes, he'll be very pleased, will Mr. Faimalo, and I'm sure if his brother Assini over there at Leeds is watching, he'll be delighted for him.
Defence has won Oldham this game. They come out in the second half. They led 6 points to 10 at half-time, and they just knew that if they defended, they were going to win the game, and defended they have.
Wilson Marsh with the kick. No real pressure on him, just the very difficult conditions underfoot from which to kick the ball. Wilson looking for the 2 points, and he finds them. So Warrington 6, Oldham 17. And all credit to the Oldham coach, Andy Goodway. He's been positive with this side all season. And no one more positive than man of the match, Mike Kuiti. 8 test caps for New Zealand and leading by example. And Faimalo driving, determination. He's not going to be stopped. It's a try. Just coming into injury and stoppage time now, but all smiles from the Oldham bench. Every year Oldham fans dream of a first ever visit to Wembley. Well, they're a little nearer down that path now after that win over at Warrington, and certainly none happier than coach Andy Goodway. And Oldham still driving forward there, Steve.
Sorry, Ray?
Oldham still driving forward.
They are. They know they've got the game won, and their adrenaline will be pumping 100 mile an hour, and they want to finish. If they can score again, it's going to be a great effort by them, but they've all put in 100% today.
And a rather glum-looking Brian Johnson. Plans just haven't gone right. But there's no denying that Warrington have had some chances in the second half, Joe. They haven't taken them, especially down that left-hand flank.
No, they must have had 3 clear-cut chances to score. Very uncharacteristic, haven't taken them. And I'm sure when they look at the replays and the videos in training next week, then they'll rue the chances that they have.
Well, the final whistle blown by Mr. Holsworth. The hooter goes. And Oldham record their first ever win here at Wilderspool in the Challenge Cup. 17 points to 6. And aren't they delighted? You'd almost think their fans had hold of the cup already. Bell, what a good game he had on the wing. They've come here to Wilderspool, a difficult tie, a difficult place for anyone to come to. It's the first time that Warrington have been beaten in the Cup and the League this season. But it's Oldham who are going into that draw when the 6th round is made on Monday. Jason Timu, what a powerful game he had. Mr. Holsworth had to put in a lot of work, a lot of running on this very heavy, muddy pitch.
Man of the match, Mike Kuisi of Oldham. Mike, there's a little bit of history. Oldham have never beaten Warrington here in the Cup, have they?
Well, I never knew that. We're not worried about the past. We're really happy about what happened today. We got the win and we're in the next round.
That was a really spirited performance, though, in very difficult conditions, wasn't it?
Yeah, I thought the second half we really defended well. We put them under pressure and they were dropping the ball when they could have had chances to score, so we're really happy with that.
I mean, you went into the second half with quite a narrow lead. Were you a bit bothered about that, nervous or what?
No, we were happy with the narrow lead because we knew we could come out and do the same in the second half if we had to.
I was saying to the coach before the game that a lot of the top teams are out of the Cup now. I mean, maybe there's just something on for an outsider like Oldham.
Well, we hope so. We hope the Omens are with us.
Yeah, great game.
Thanks very much.
Mike.
Cheers.
Plenty of mud, plenty of sand, but plenty of spirit and effort from Oldham. Deserved winners.
Yes, that really was an outstanding performance by Oldham. 17 points to 6.